times, I mean, it's a commodity now. And so human lives is becoming human livestock within the prison industrial complex. And so we have to be mindful and teach our brothers and our sisters that they're not just locking up criminals. Any everyday American citizen can be locked up and put into that position or that circumstance by just making a wrong choice. And so we have to be mindful to teach our young brothers, man, that this is out there. And so that is why I do what I do. I have 27 men that support a height. All 27 committed a murder when they was children, when they was age 12, 13, 14. But these men and women wasn't blessed. They wasn't fortunate enough to not go to prison like I was. They was transferred into the adult prison system. And they went on to serve 19, 20, 21, 22 years in prison from a choice and decision that they made when they was 12, 13, and 14 years old, and they're just now coming home today from the 90s.
Oh, that's just horrible. I want to go back. I don't want to cut off your story, and everything that comes out of your mouth is certainly interesting as well as educational. You left us going back into the youth prison system at the age of 18 as the result of 4 individuals who, as you stated, saw something in you that you were not aware that was in you, your own self. And these 4 individuals are basically, it sounds like you're saying, are the foundation of your turnaround. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely correct. And so... Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. Please, go ahead.
Well, I went back and I spent another 3 years in the Texas Youth Commission. And so I spent the next 3 years trying to impress these people. And in the process...
Talking about the 4?
Yes, ma'am. The four individuals that put their jobs on the line and come testify on my behalf.
You said
and
2
so,
men, 2 women?
2 men, 2 women.
Go ahead, sir.
And so... in the process of trying to impress and please these people, I began to really make some sincere and genuine changes through the programs that I was getting in. And so when I turned 21 and I was discharged from the youth facility, our juvenile system had done its job with me. They had given me all the tools and all the skills that I needed to get out here in life and be successful. I mean, they did their job. And back then, Ann Richardson was our governor. The Texas juvenile system was focused strictly on rehabilitation and resocialization. There was nothing punitive about it. So it gave me everything that I needed. It's just that when I got out, I went back to my same community. And in that community in 1998, Master P had just came out with Ghetto Dope, and it taught you how to cook crack on the CD. So when I got out in 1998 and came back to my hometown and my community, everybody in the black community was selling dope. I mean, 1998, the dope game was at its highest. And now here I am, having been locked up my whole teenage life from the time I was 14 until I was 21. When I stepped out of those gates and got back home, yeah, I was 21, but mentally I was still 14 because I lacked the life experiences and the growth process that you go through out here. So I was still mentally 14. So when I came home, my environment and my culture reshaped all the good that I got in the juvenile system. I didn't have any identity as a man because I was still thinking like a 14-year-old. I didn't know how to interact with a 21-year-old girlfriend because I had never dated before. I didn't know how to ride the bus. So I had all of these challenges. And there was no programs in 1998. There was no reentry programs for anyone like myself or some of the things that they have now to help you with the hardship of reentry. They didn't have that back then. So I went back into a community. I was trying to make up for all the time that I had. And one of the biggest mistakes you can do coming out of prison is trying to make up for what you missed out on. Because in order to do that, you got to turn around and go backwards and go find all them old things. And so that's what I did. And so I fell into those statistics where a juvenile, almost 70-some% of juveniles are rearrested within the first year after being incarcerated. Well, I fell in those statistics. My cousin was going to Arkansas University, and he was telling me about how much a pound of weed costs, and I didn't even have a clue. I just wanted to do what everybody else was doing. So 9 months after getting out, I caught a drug trafficking charge. I got caught with 10 pounds of marijuana and 2 guns crossing state lines, and I took it to trial, had a mistrial by the grace of God, and the judge offered me a 5 years deferred probation and 6 months in a prison boot camp. So I took that. And so just to make a long story short, I spent all of my 20s submerged in the criminal elements of society. And it wasn't until I began to have children that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to give my children something that I never had, and that was just a visible father, because I didn't know how to be nothing else but just be present, and that's all I wanted to do. And I figured in order for me to be present in my son's life, I can't go to jail. And I didn't believe in God at the time. I used to curse. I used to curse folks if you even mention anything about God or Christ, or I used to tell my mama, yeah, that's your God. And so one night, during my normal street activities,
how old are you around?
I'm around 27, 28 now.
Go ahead, sir.
And so I have this dream. And in this dream, I'm standing on this stage, and I'm sharing my story with these kids, and all of a sudden I start crying, and then my buddies who I was locked up with, they began to appear in this dream, and then my brother appeared. Well, my oldest brother is serving a 99-year prison sentence for a murder he committed when he was 17 years old. He's been gone about 24 years, 25 years now. And so all of these people appear in this dream. And at the end of this dream, we all enter into some doors with blinding bright lights, individual doors. And so I wake up. And when I wake up, I have this urge to go to church. But I'm like, man, I don't even believe in God. I ain't been to church since I was a kid, man. I curse God. So I'm wondering where this feeling coming from. So I sit on the back porch and roll me up some marijuana and smoke me a little marijuana, thinking the feeling was going to go away. But that urge turned into a fear. And it's 2 weeks before Christmas. And so I give in to that fear. I begin to rationalize how I'm feeling. I say, well, man, maybe I just need to go put some money in church to get the hanks out for me. Just buy some good luck.
So
and
in
so
other words, you had a spiritual feeling.
There we go.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, brother.
And so I go to church. I ask church. The last church that I went to, and I sit on the very, very back. And when the pastor come out, he stir me down. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, man, somebody done went and told this dude I smell like weed. I need to get out of here. But I was froze. And he began to preach about Joseph. Joseph in the Bible, how when Joseph was in the pit, he was sold off to slavery, and just the whole story of Joseph. And at the end of his sermon, he said, when I walked out here, I got a kick in my spirit, and the Holy Spirit told me to tell you that you're a Joseph, young man, and he pointed at me. And so I'm thinking in my mind, man, this dude, this pastor, they playing with me. They playing church games. I'm new. They picking on me. And before I get ready to walk out, this man said, I just want to pray for you, brother. And so I walked down to the altar. This man put his hands on my shoulder, and he began to pray. And as he began to pray, he began to tell me my dream that I had the night before that I hadn't shared with anybody.
No, go ahead. Wait a minute, man. You hadn't shared it with nobody?
I hadn't shared it with nobody.
And he was telling you the dream. Go ahead, brother.
It's gonna blow your mind, sister. This is what changed my life. This is how God. My life didn't change because somebody indoctrinated me with a word. My life didn't change because somebody preached to me. I had a personal experience. And so he began to tell me my dream through this prayer. And not only that, he began to add stuff to it. And what he's adding to it is what I'm doing today. But back then, when I'm leaving church, I was going back to sell dope. So the stuff that this man spoke over my life, I couldn't believe it because I couldn't see myself doing it. This man said I would be traveling around the country sharing my story. This man didn't even know my story. This man would say I'll be working with young kids going inside the prisons. This man didn't even have a clue I was a dope dealer.
What is the pastor's name?
Darryl Wilson.
Is he still preaching?
He's still preaching.
Yes, sir.
And so, Darrell Wilson. And this was in 2002.
Yes, sir. So he's telling you these things, and you're like, yeah, right.
Man, I'm thinking, I'm thinking this brother, man, just playing games with me. But one thing I couldn't argue with is that this man spoke about this dream that I had to share with nobody.
Well, what did he say, brother? Well, after the break, we're going to have to take this quick one. We're going to come right back. We want to find out what Pastor Darrell Wilson, what Pastor Darrell Wilson said to you about a dream that you had and shared with no one, and yet he was able to not only tell you, but it influenced you to where you are today, August 18th, 2015. He's our guest today, and our guest is Brother Charleston White. Brother Charleston White calling in from Fort Worth, Texas, and he is educating us on so much information, and it's so inspiring. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Black History. It's 24/7 permanently. I'm your host today, Nia2x, and we'll return shortly. Brothers and sisters, today we are sponsored also by our good friends from Sunshine Youth Division. Sunshine Youth Division has children that study Black history all day and every day and help celebrate, appreciate, participate, and educate in Black history. If you want your youth to know their story or your youth to know our story, call Sunshine Youth Division today. Children have to be between the ages of 5 and 18, and they can enroll. They have to have 4 requirements. 1, of course, is their age. 2, number 1 is they have to love God, any religion they like. 2, they have to have respect in their homes at all times, no exceptions. And 3, come in with a C grade average, and Sunshine Youth Division will work with the child to help bring the grade up and help the child to study, learn, and embrace education as a situation that is not as challenging as it was before. Call Sunshine Youth Division today to get more information at 202-352-2121. Sunshine Youth Division, studying Black history because Black history is 24/7 permanently. Back with our guest on our live line, calling in from Fort Worth, Texas, and telling us just how powerful God is and how his influence, he's sharing his life story with us that led to his organization called HYPE. And HYPE stands for Helping Young People Excel. It is a youth outreach program. Our guest is Charleston White, and most people call him Brother Charles. Brother Charles, you left us at the church.
Yes, ma'am.
You walked down the aisle, and the preacher began to put his hand on your shoulder and began to tell you about a dream you had. Was it the night before, brother? Or
yes, ma'am, that's it.
It was?
No, ma'am, it was the night before. Yes, ma'am.
Brother, you had floor.
Well, he began to recant that dream to me, just sharing how he saw me and my brother and how my friends, how God would use us to impact the lives of young people. And he say, I see you traveling around the country sharing your story. I see you going back inside the youth prison sharing your story. Man, I'm on 5 years paper for a drug trafficking charge, and this man is saying this about me. And so when it was all said and done, man, I couldn't argue with what God had presented me to me. I didn't believe, man, I didn't believe. I wasn't saved. I just didn't believe. And so that moment, God got my attention. And so I couldn't walk the same after that, meaning I couldn't go back out into them streets and still conduct myself the way I had, because now something, my eyes have been opened to something.
Go ahead.
And so fast forward some years down the road, I'm doing exactly what that preacher said that I'll be doing. I'm traveling around the country, speaking at college universities. I'm doing trainings for the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI agency. I'm going inside. I'm speaking to judges and prosecutors. I'm going inside of youth prisons. My organization has been highly recommended to all 254 counties throughout the state of Texas by the entire state's juvenile justice system. I'm getting calls from politicians that come in, and I'm helping rewrite juvenile laws in my state. My story has gone before the Supreme Court to help overturn juvenile life without parole in the country. So what Pastor Darrell Wilson spoke over my life then, it's almost like I'm living a prophecy now. And I share that because you couldn't have gotten anyone to believe that I'll be doing what I'm doing today. So that's my message now. The kids that we see, the scum of the earth that we see, those are the people that God like to use.
I see.
So we can't give up on them. Yes, ma'am. He reaching low to pull people. Yes, ma'am.
You don't pluck from the top. It goes to the very bottom.
Yes, ma'am. And so the last trouble that I got into, I got caught up into some, all my buddies were, we were moving a lot of dope down here, and so the feds came in and did what they did, and so I did something that spared me. Well, I didn't immediately go to jail, but I got charged.
Okay.
And so they kept me out on bond from 2007 up until 2012. I actually went to jury trial February of 2012. Now, in the process of these 5 years, my life is changing. God is doing some things in my life. I'm starting to submit and just become an obedient servant. And so during that process, I had another child, and the only thing that I could think of, I said, man, I want to do something different. I've never had a job. I've never really worked on a job. Who go hire me? And the only thing that I knew was to go back to the plan that I had that those people helped me come up with in the juvenile system.
Okay.
And that was to go back to college. And so I enrolled myself into a community college, not knowing what I wanted to do. I just wanted to get in college so when I go to court, I can show the judge and them, really run a street game. Well, in the process of going to college, I discovered I had some academic talent.
I see. What did you study when you first went to community college?
I actually went in and I took Texas government, U.S. history. I took an English composition class, and I took a business speech class, not knowing that I would become a motivational / public speaker a few years down the road.
I see.
And so when it was time for me to go back to court, my lawyers told me that I couldn't win. So I fired them. And I took the chances on representing myself in a federal court in Dallas, Texas, and they lead the nation in wrongful convictions. And so I went to court and I represented myself, and this was 2012.
Okay.
Now, I had been out for 5 years. Now, my life is not the same that it was 5 years ago in 2012. I began to make some drastic changes. I made a 180-degree turn in 2009, 2010.
I see.
And so when I went to, yes, ma'am, for the good. Now I'm in college. I done made the dean's list. I got a 3.3 GPA, and I didn't make it past the 8th grade.
Do you have a degree today?
I have an associate's degree, and I'm 2 semesters away from a bachelor's degree before I apply to law school at Texas Wesleyan University.
Hype. What is some of the great things you've been doing, brother, with Hype?
Well, let me share how Hype got started. When I went to trial in 2012, and based on how I represented myself in court, the jury made a recommendation that I not do any jail time. The jury asked
because of your presentation or your representation.
Yes, ma'am. And the jury asked if they could sit in on my sentencing. And so the judge began to, he began to chew me out. But after he chewed me out, he maxed me out on probation. He gave me 2 years probation, wouldn't give me no jail time. And the prosecutors requesting jail time. And this man said, based on how this young man represented himself in court, he said, I want this young man mentoring the kids about gangs. And the DA and somebody stood up and said, Your Honor, we don't have anything like that. And the judge said, find something. You mean to tell me this guy was involved with this, the Dallas gang unit, and this people, and all, and y'all can't find him nothing to work with kids about gangs? He said, matter of fact, Lupe, call the probation department and have them come down. I want this in that young man's order. It's 6:30 in the evening. I have never seen a judge or no court carry on like that. So here we go again. God has put me before another judge again who sees something.
I see.
And based on what he saw, he said, I want him mentoring the kids about gangs. And that's how my youth organization got started.
I see. So you're on 2 years probation, and then I guess you discovered even more within yourself. Hey, this feels natural to me.
Well, yes, ma'am. The judge saw something when he said, I want him mentoring the kids about gangs. Immediately, God took me back to that dream. He said, this is what I have called you to do. I have led you through the path that you've taken by choice. And it all ended back up along my lines. And I saw then, I said, God, I've been trying to do everything my way. And everything I've been doing been ending me up in trouble. And you've been pulling me out of trouble. And I don't have any felony convictions on my record. I hadn't been back to prison since 1998. And so I said, God, I don't have too many more chances. And he told me to be obedient. So I've been obedient ever since I walked out of that courtroom in 2012. I literally have dedicated my life to servicing young people. I teach classes at a Texas Juvenile Justice Department facility. I go in every Tuesday and Thursday, and I teach a anti-gang cognitive intervention course. I teach another street life cycle curriculum. Now, these are programs that I have developed along with some of my other people. And we go inside these prisons. I now train the juvenile correctional officers for the state. When these guys are coming out of prison, these young men are coming out of prison. If they've been in jail 3-4 years, we're helping them get clothes. We're helping them find jobs. We're connecting with businesses and other organizations in our communities to help provide resources and alternatives for these young people.
So you have fulfilled a need that was there all the time, but no one was pulling up their bootstraps and fulfilling the need. I'm sure there were other organizations, but with hype coming along, you've been very effective. And explain to us how you have been received from the people that you are teaching and helping. What are they saying to you?
Well, we get letters every week from these young people. And what we have done with our organization, we're not just showing up inside these institutions just to come, tell you a good story about what I came from. I'm going inside the institutions to make the connection inside of there. So I ain't got to make the connection when they get out. The connection is already made. So when you walk out of that gate, young brother, young sister, you call us. Whatever you don't have, we're going to do everything to try to get you what you don't have. Whether that's money to get your ID, whether that's finding a job, if that's putting $50 in your pocket when we can, whether that's just taking you out to eat to experience your first meal, getting out. But we are making connections from the inside to the outside. And for the adult offenders, the guys that's coming home, past 21, past 19, we have developed a system to where we're using our Pell Grant and financial aid disbursements like welfare you know, a dude coming home from prison, been gone 5, 10 years. Well, one thing I know, for the most part, he's been in prison trying to think about how can he take care of himself, how can he get some money. And so the fastest way that I know that's going to put any money in anybody's pocket without taking any penitentiary chances is go to your community college and go get you some Pell Grant.
I see. That Pell Grant, that was put in place by President Barack Obama. Is that right?
Well, it's been in place for a while, but he's putting it back in place where the inmates can get it while in prison.
Oh, I see. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You mentioned inmates. What about female inmates? Does HYPE have anything for the females as well?
Yes, ma'am, we do. Actually, my mother is a part of HYPE, and my mother is a queen who had 2 sons that was locked up for murder, 2 separate murders. My mother had 2 sons locked up for murder. She had a mama in prison. She had a daddy in prison. She had a little sister in prison, and she had a big brother in prison. And she would have to travel for years to go see all these people. Grandmama strung out on heroin, uncle and auntie strung out on crack, and my mama raised 5 kids. And so my mother have been the support of our whole family. And so she comes in as an element to come in and work with these women who have children, who have drug addictions, because she has the as they like to say, the qualitative experience of having a mother on drugs, a sister on drugs, sons locked up. So I would say she's an expert, and she's such a powerful element for the young women that we have. And I'm always actively seeking sisters in the community who will be willing to come out and volunteer and sacrifice some time just to give back and impart something good into the lives of our young people.
Oh, it's just wonderful. I know you had mentioned off air that there were other organizations. Time flies when you're having a good time, Brother Charles White. You've got to come back and do a part 2, because the information that you shared with us today is so influential. And I'm sure there are others that may want to start up a chapter in their community to come under HYPE and learn how to be effective, in helping those returning citizens come back into citizenship. You hit so many, many wonderful points. But as I mentioned prior and off air, there are other organizations. Can you tell us about them as we begin to wrap up for the people, and of course share your contact information with us as well? You're listening to Charles White.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, how you and I met, I was at a national convening with the Campaign Fair Sentencing of Youth. And this organization is based in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill, and they are solely responsible for abolishing juvenile life without parole in America. And through this organization, I was able to meet an extraordinary guy by the name of Xavier Macbeth Ray. And Xavier he's one of the founders of an organization that I'm a part of that's on a national level that's called ICAN. And ICAN is an acronym for Incarcerated Children's Advocacy Network. And this particular organization is a national organization based throughout the country, and it's all formerly incarcerated men and women who have served time as children. Many of these individuals were sentenced to die in prison as children, meaning juvenile life without parole. And because of the work that the Campaign Fair Sentence for Youth has done in this country, they have gotten many of these laws changed and got many of these guys out of prison. And so that's how you and I were able to connect through my meetings with engaging with ICAN and the Campaign Fair Sentencing of Youth, based out of Washington, D.C., and they are doing great, great things in this country. And I want people to keep in mind that America and Sudan are the only 2 countries on this planet Earth
in North Korea
that still sentence their children to die in prison.
Wow. Amazing information. We have about a minute left. The 4 people that helped you out earlier, are you still in contact with them?
Yes, I am. Mr. Mathis, he still works at Giddings State School. He's been there over 30 years. Miss Pumple, she's passed many years ago. Mr. Rocha, I keep in contact with her. every year, and I haven't been able to locate Mr. Nelson. But I'm putting together an event on September 16th where 40 of Texas' most violent juvenile offenders will be returning back to the same lockup facility that we serve time in. It's a raised by the state reunion. We were considered the worst of the worst, and all of us are living productive and pro-social lives today, and we're going back inside of our juvenile system to thank our juvenile system for being and giving us what they gave us. So it's a very historical. I don't think you can find this anywhere in the country.
Oh, we look forward to sharing it with our listening audience. It's been a spectacular time we spent with you today, brother. What a wonderful story, giving all the glory to God.
Yes, ma'am.
And God is going to continue to work with us as we come up, because from a so-called dog to a God, we're talking to a little God right here, because I'm sure your work is ahead of you. You have so much more to do, and we are behind you and beside you and ready to help you in any way you can. It's a very, very rewarding story you shared with us today. His brother Charles White, we're going to wrap it up, and you have the closing remarks. Sir, please give your contact information for hype.
My contact information.
Look here, boys and girls. I just want to tell you niggas, it ain't a nigga with enough money in the world that can do that kind of work. You niggas ain't no real life superhero. See, when I'm broke, the people still go lift me up. You niggas get broke, they go talk about y'all. Yeah. Now, homie, that's a Washington, D.C. radio station. I'm a bad motherfucker on the internet, but I'm a real life superhero in real life. Let these motherfuckers give me the kind of money or I can get on a camera and check out $300,000 out the bank. Watch what I do. Now I'm going to the ghetto and I'm going to build a hospital for niggas. I ain't getting no motherfucking $1 million to no motherfucking white boy business. Nigga, I'm going to build a motherfucking Jerry Jones Cowboy Stadium for Little League football. Nigga, what? I'm going to build a motherfucking basketball complex, nigga, for them boys to, nigga, go play basket. I'm not giving it to no white boy clothes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it behind these young niggas right here. These niggas' clothes. I'm going to go take $1 million and I'm going to make my nation strong, man. That nigga went and gave the white folks $1 million. That nigga went and got on camera with Say Cheese TV and said, hey, brother, I'll put some money on your head. Am I coming to L.A.? I was in L.A. yesterday. Shooting for a movie scene about Malcolm X that'll be coming out in May. When y'all see the movie, y'all gonna say, man, how did he? Yeah, I was in L.A. shooting the film. I told y'all, niggas, y'all ain't gonna know when I come to L.A., nigga. You nigga were watching basketball yesterday. say, man, you nigga were watching basketball. No, don't nobody gotta check in with you niggas. You niggas don't run the airport, and you niggas ain't got airport security. Here, let me show y'all the proof that I was there. Yeah, let me show y'all the proof that I was there, man. Yeah, let me show y'all the proof that I was there. Let me show you the text messages from the movie director. Yeah. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. Then nigga say, hey, why wasn't you at the All-Star game? I don't know what kind of niggas you is, but who go somewhere snowing? Nigga, them people had ice on the ground. Man, that nigga Lil Boosie made a video, nigga, it was ice on the ground. Who the fuck, what kind of nigga wanna go somewhere to go have fun in the cold? Nigga, please, we ain't them kind of niggas. We ain't them kind of niggas. No, we ain't them kind of niggas, nigga. We wanna go be cold so a nigga have fun with ice. Say, nigga, let me show y'all something. None of you niggas in California, none of you niggas in Cleveland, none of you niggas got land. You ain't got property. When I walk out of my backyard, boy, let me show you something. Let me show you how far I got to walk from the house just in my backyard. Let me just show you something, nigga. Remember I told y'all I bought another house. Remember when I was on Vlad TV last year, I said, man, I've been getting so much money off the internet, I bought another goddamn house. Let me show you. I'm still in my backyard walking, nigga. And this the other house. Say, listen, you poor ass nigga. Say, listen, man, Kivo, this is what you ain't showed, nigga. You ain't showed no land and no house. Look how far a nigga to walk in the backyard. Now I'm gonna go walk back to the house. Now y'all watch me. Y'all see me? See how much land this is, nigga? Y'all ain't got land like this in them hoods y'all live in. Yeah, you see how I say, listen, y'all ain't got land like this here. Now listen, we buy houses and land. Even my little sister got a Airbnb she rent out right by the Cowboy Stadium and the Ranger Stadium. The old niggas taught us buy land. Fuck that money and jewelry, nigga. If you got $300,000 in cash, you ain't got nothing. Because you gotta make the money make money. You gotta know how to make the money and make money. And you gotta get you some resources. You gotta be able to own you some of this here, nigga. Say, you got to be able to have some dirt somewhere, nigga. Not somewhere sitting up in no motherfucking high-rise apartment, nigga. Yeah, when the white folk close the building, sell the building, you got to go. You got to go, nigga. That's a whole lot of yard back here, ain't it? Grow, nigga, grow. Grow, nigga, grow. I know you poor niggas don't know nothing about nothing. Yeah, you poor niggas think cash is everything. Y'all don't know relationships is God. Oh, man, God damn it. God damn it. Yeah, God damn it. Say, y'all heard that interview? That was a bad motherfucking interview, wasn't it? It really was. Howdy. Walk with me. Yeah, that was a great interview, wasn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm just soaking it all in, man. Yeah. I'm just soaking it all in, boy. That's a whole lot of land and a whole lot of yard. Them niggas living in them New Yorks and them Harlems, they won't never get to see nothing like this. Them niggas in them hoods and Cali with them small front yards and small backyard, they won't get to live like this, yeah? Yeah, them niggas sitting in them corners in them apartments, talking loud, they won't get to take no stroll in the backyard like this here, nigga. And it's like you walking in the park. Like you walking in the park. You need to get some dogs. Nigga, fuck some dogs. Nigga, don't give a damn. I ain't finna get nothing I can't eat. Fuck, I'm gonna feed something I can't eat for. Nigga, you must be a white boy. I got guns and nigga, cameras. Nigga, fuck a dog. Nigga, we got cameras that talk. Hey, it's a nigga back here. Fuck you talking about, nigga, and you ain't gotta feed it. You ain't even gotta plug it up. Fuck you talking about, nigga. This is a gated community. As soon as you ride in this community, nigga, it's cameras in the exit and the entryway. Fuck you talking about. I ain't getting no motherfucking dog. I ain't no white person, nigga. My wife like that shit. Shit, I'm not feeding a motherfucking thing I can't eat. Yeah, I hate black people that like dogs. Nasty motherfuckers. Yeah, you don't know what, y'all some lonely motherfuckers. Yeah, them the motherfuckers been mistreated. Want a goddamn dog. Like white folk shit, nigga. I'm not feeding now motherfucking animal. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Don't fuck by no animal. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, I don't like dogs, I don't like cats, I don't like rats, I don't like birds, I don't like roaches, I don't like butterflies, I don't like beetles, I don't like grasshoppers. Nigga, I don't like nothing that ain't, nigga, I barely like people. Fuck, I'm gonna like something with more legs than me for. Yeah, nigga, I don't give a damn about nothing. Put some houses in the back. Maybe you don't get your motherfucking ass. Fuck, I'm gonna put some food in the backyard. Fuck some houses. Yeah, nigga, go grow some food back here, nigga. Yeah, you talking about walk the land and bless the land. Nigga, grow some food, nigga, where I can eat back here. Fuck, I'm gonna come back here and got to evict motherfucker. Move a motherfucker in the house back here and I got to take him to court to make him leave. Man, fuck that. I'm gonna put some fruit back here, some vegetables. Some motherfucking me jalapeno. And some dope. Grow some weed, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Yeah, you talking about. Put some houses. Man, that's what, man. Build a storm shelter. Hell, you talking about, man? Build a goddamn storm shelter in this motherfucker. Yeah. Say, man. Yeah. Flights to Louisiana cheap from Cali. Oregon paying, I wouldn't have, they could be paying $10,000 a month to house the homeless. I wouldn't have now a homeless motherfucker in the world. Yeah, the motherfucker couldn't even lay on my driveway. Fuck the homeless. In my mind, the homeless is right where they ought to be. Nigga outside, minding they motherfucking business. Yeah, they ain't bothering nobody. Fuck y'all want to go bother them for? Trying to get them somewhere to live. Them motherfuckers want somewhere to live. They know how to go get somewhere to live. Yeah, man, fuck the homeless. Yeah, bothering them people. Them people don't want to be nowhere bathing, sleeping nowhere clean. They want to be somewhere drunk, funky, stinking, and nasty, pissing outside. Yeah, they don't want to sit on no motherfucking toilet seat and comfortable and shit. Funky motherfucker want to be just where they at. So leave they goddamn ass out there on the goddamn street. And when they get tired of being sick and tired, then they'll get their shit together. But until you tired of being sick and tired, you go keep doing that shit. Every motherfucking nigga I know homeless want to be homeless. I ain't bullshit. I ain't never seen a nigga homeless say, man, I wish I had somewhere to stay. They somewhere begging. Fuck you talking about the energy it take a homeless motherfucker to stand outside all day doing nothing. They can be working. You know how much energy it take to do nothing outside all day long? Every day? Shit, they got the energy to work. Fuck you talking about just laying around on the curb. Nigga, that's some hard work. Shit, motherfucker can bust up bricks if they can sleep on them. Yeah, motherfucking energy. Yeah, you take a lot of energy to stay down there on that motherfucking ground when it hurt. Fuck you talking about. Yeah, man. Yeah, the energy it take to ask for money and the motherfucker looking crazy. Shit, just think if you transform that energy into putting in a job application asking for a job. Shit, them motherfuckers a night will change overnight. Yeah, so I don't give a damn about the homeless. I don't know nobody ever been homeless. Yeah, everybody I know got somewhere to go stay. If nothing else, a nigga give them a car in the backyard, and then they can come stay. They can come bathe in the house when the kids and the wife go to school. Yeah. So I don't know now, motherfuckers so low down and dirty, they homeless. Yeah, that's a motherfucker done burn all they goddamn bridges, or a motherfucker with pride. So yeah, fuck the homeless. Yeah, fuck the homeless. Fuck them. Yeah, my mama always told me if your mom and dad don't want you, who else you think gonna want you to live with them? Yeah, them ex-cons kids coming out of jail are homeless. So who shit? It's their daddy fault. Yeah, ex-con had daddy shouldn't have been doing what he was doing. Yeah, shit. You ain't never seen a homeless man with his babies. Hell no. If these niggas don't know how to fuck, if you can't find a fat bitch to give you somewhere to lay and stay and play for 6 months out the year, nigga, you need to go to jail or get you a punk. Yeah, man, there's plenty of punks will let you in. Fuck you talk about, nigga. Hell yeah, plenty of punk want a nigga to keep him company. And why he fuck him? Yeah, nigga, so no, nigga, go a fat woman in the punk should be a homeless nigga options. Fuck you talking about. Homeless women find places to stay. They go help them bitches. And somebody want to fuck them. And it ain't no man, bitch, clean up. I be seeing some homeless hoes on the corner sometime. I be saying, say, you know you got a pussy, right? Yeah, man, bitch, go take a bleach bath and bleach that motherfucking shit off of you, that bacteria off that skin. Yeah, man. Scrub the bottom of them motherfucking feet. And get that black shit off them heels. Clip your fingernails and your toenails. Clean your ears real thoroughly good. Brush your teeth. Use the brown Listerine. And somebody'll fuck you. Yeah, it's a nigga right now riding around the neighborhood looking at a hoe walking. Or yeah, hitting his brakes. Yeah, that's who you play on when you're homeless. Yeah, bitch, you got the hoe to get on your feet if you homeless. Yeah, I know plenty of niggas hit their brakes for every hoe walking. I'm one of them. Yeah, just to look, back in my day, that's where you find the hoe walking. I don't know where you find them at now. Yeah, nigga, back in my day, you can put gas in the car and nigga ride around smoking weed from neighborhood to neighborhood, from side of town to side of town. And for long, you go find a hoe walking that'll do some fucking. And to fuck you and your buddy who you riding with, all she want is to get high and drink. Yeah, and boy, we go get one of them rooms for 2 hours. Yeah, that's how we used to get hoes when the club wasn't jumping. Catch a hoe walking. Yeah, nigga, some of the best fucking done went on with a hoe you done picked up walking that you don't know. Yeah, nigga, and you be wishing you can find her again. And it's like she done disappeared off earth. Yeah. Now, nigga, we done developed a lot of freaks in the city. Nigga, picking them up walking and passing them on and introducing them to other niggas that want to fuck them. Where you find them from, nigga, walking? For real? Yeah, nigga. I used to always be saying, man, why these young hoes ain't walking no more? We used to call them street walkers. Yeah, young hoe walk to the stove just dressed up pretty with that motherfucking Vaseline on her leg, with that hoe walk on her. You know what I'm talking about? She just going to the stove, but she got to walk up that main street. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, yeah, nigga. I don't know what generation you nigga come from. No, yeah. Everywhere. Listen, don't let these niggas fool y'all and think they getting all. Every nigga can't get a bitch out of strip club. A lot of these niggas still patting their brakes on the pedal. Yeah, goddamn me hoping to get a bitch that's beating the concrete. Yeah, they call it dick and brick. The bitch out there on that brick, and somebody got that dick for her. It's dick and brick out there. Go get it. And yeah, before she know it, she done got high for the day. She done got drunk, in her belly full, in her pussy soaked. Hell, you talking about? But you know how many hoes want their belly full, their pussy soaked, in tipsy and drunk? That's what they go out for. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they go out for. That's why them hoes always talking about wanting to go out to eat. Yeah, no, man. You see them niggas relating to me? Yeah, no, niggas relating to me. They know I ain't just bullshit. They know I ain't just talking just to be talking. Yeah, this is real live shit. This is how players, no, man. This is how players, elevated their game. Picking up a whore walking on the streets. And then every now and then, nigga, back in them days, niggas was notoriously known for catching them high school gals. Fresh up out of high school, drafting them straight to the pros. Yeah. Folks, she know it. She a hood hoe. And she ain't even put out a financial FAFSA application yet. Yeah, she done already been tagged a hood hoe. And some low down dirty nigga done put that raw, no rubber dick in her and put that baby in her. That's how a lot of you niggas was born. I ain't bullshit. Yeah, a lot of you niggas was born because your mama, your mama was one of them hoes everybody can put that dick on, nigga. And your daddy was just one of them ones that'll put that raw, no rubber dick in her and come all in her. How can I book you? Go send me a message on Instagram. The real band Charleston White, and I'll send you the booking information. Yeah, they say my prices was too high. So I went and got somebody to do an assessment and say, nigga, you ain't worth no $12,000 booking. You worth more for $5,000. So let pay us a percentage a month. Yeah, I was talking about, yeah, nigga, I've been on the Big Facts podcast. I'm on $10,000 to $12,000. For an interview? Yeah, for a goddamn interview. They said, well, here, listen, let us do an assessment on you. So I went and hired some professional people to do an assessment on me to see what I should be charging. Yeah, I done let this shit go to my head, y'all. I'm thinking I supposed to be paid like the real celebrity. Nigga, you ain't even done a comedy show yet. Yeah, nigga, fuck wrong with you. Well, man, I ain't know. Yeah, nigga, shit, yeah. Go back on false talk. I'm too big now. He hurting over there too, boy. Hey, bullshit. Say, I'm about to do $1 million. And just think if me and him was still cool, boy, he'll have all the great footage in the world. But they were playing over it. Man, you can't make no money off nobody like that and don't offer the man nothing. Say, man, I'm doing this every month off you, homie. Here go a percentage. I appreciate you for putting me on, man. Blessing my family and all that, man. We was nobodies. We was undiscovered talent, man. Here you come along, man. But now I'm thinking we partners. No, we wasn't partners, man. I was being played on. Yeah, I'm such a good fella. Everybody playing on me. So now, yeah, I'm tired of being played on. $10,000 was motherfucker out to book me. So now, if you want to book me, homie, I'm gonna send you to the people. That did the assessment. They gave me the lady that handles everything for me. False talk is funny. He know what he doing. You lying to me. Shit, you lying to me like a motherfucker. He didn't have a clue what he was doing. Because if he had a clue what he was doing, he wouldn't break them down in segments. You see, 85 South didn't do it. See the numbers they get? Why is everybody following Vlad's formula? 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Because they po. I ain't gonna say they po, but they playing for the money. Yeah. So, no. Yeah, so no. If they were smart, they'll release the whole video and do it every time. That way you build your fan base, you build your content, because your people don't want part stories. People don't want part of the truth, they want the whole truth. And what tends to happen when you break it down, nah, homie, that worked for Vlad, because Vlad is not trying to give us the whole truth. Vlad is trying to give a narrative. So if we really, for our people, don't give us the half truth, give us the whole truth. What's making Charleston so popular is he give a video and give you the whole truth. He ain't making you come back and wait. So you lose people in the process of trying to dissect or fraction out the truth. No, don't do it like that. So you can tell, homie, the numbers are drastically low. The analytical data speaks for itself. Man, I lost a YouTube page of 65,000 subscribers not even a year ago. I'm already back at that now. I done lost 2 or 3 Instagram pages. I'm already back at that now. So I got a formula that's been proven to be working. Everybody else formula, if they take away Charleston, don't seem to be working. So, nah, homie. I'm what that is. I know you niggas mad. I know you niggas sad. I know you niggas ain't glad. But hey, so yippee yippee yay, yiminy yay. Yeah, you can't stop nothing. You just can't stop it. Yeah, ain't nothing motherfucking thing you can do. It ain't a goddamn thing you can do. But sit back, stick your motherfucking lip out, and be mad. And hopefully you ain't broke and you ain't sitting nowhere with that motherfucking lip stuck out, white around the mouth like turkey meat. You ever seen turkey meat, nigga? Turkey meat white in the motherfucker. So yeah, hopefully, nigga, hopefully if you got your lip stuck out. Yeah. Now hopefully, if you got your lip stuck out, you ain't goddamn me sitting some goddamn well with that motherfucker and you white around the mouth like turkey meat and your pockets is touching your thighs from the inside to the inside. Normally, if you got some money in there, it separates the pocket. That top pocket don't touch that bottom thigh. Yeah, touch the money. And then the bottom thigh touch the money too. So yeah. So, don't worry about me. I shot a big movie. I gotta say, my first movie, they say this is guaranteed to win award. Say I'm in my first award-winning film. So tell that boy over there that shot that movie, tell him fuck him. I'm an award-winning film now. And it's about Malcolm X. And I ain't the star in it, but they wrote me in the script last week. Yeah, they wrote me in the script last week, baby. And goddamn it, they say it's an award-winning film. And so I had to fly back in today because I got to get ready to go be somewhere this week in another state. So I got to go to a studio. So I'm waiting for the movie director. I'm waiting for the movie director to call me because I got to shoot another scene in the car. I got to shoot another scene in the car by way of FaceTime. So yeah, hold on. Yeah, I gotta disinfect the house, nigga. Yeah. They got some shit now, boy. You spray it in there, they say it kill everything. And it costs a lot of money, and I don't tell nobody what it is. But say, listen. What was I telling y'all about the movie, right? Yeah, so I gotta go shoot a scene. Where my keys at? Yeah, I got to go shoot a scene. Yeah, make sure I got my pistol. Oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah, nigga, we gonna be shooting the rest of my part in the car. But yeah, nah, it's a badass movie by Malcolm X. And it's supposed to drop like around Malcolm's birthday. As a matter of fact, it dropped on my birthday, May 17th. Malcolm's birthday, May 19th. Yeah, Malcolm X birthday, May 19th. Mine, May 17th. So, yeah, they guaranteed me it's gonna be a war film. We're gonna win some awards with him. The guy who wrote it done produced films with Denzel Washington in it. Some of my starring cast is people from the have and have nots. I think the chick off Power. What else? Yeah. So y'all just stay tuned. Yeah, it dropped May 17th. That's my birthday. So tell old boy, what's his name? Shank or Shrank. Yeah, tell Shank, man, he keep that bullshit low budget film. I appreciate the opportunity, but he played himself. Look how big I got since that movie. Yeah, he went and sat with Dookie. Yeah, he went down and let Dookie play him out his part, man. That nigga, dumbass nigga. Yeah, man, I was promoting the shit out that movie, man. Man, I'm gonna be in the movie, man. Yeah, woo. And he still ain't dropped the movie. I ain't gonna tell you what role I'm playing, nigga. Go watch the movie. I ain't telling you no role. But my name is Harlem in the movie. Yeah, my name is Harlem in the movie. Yeah, hopefully I'll make it through all the editing. Oh, you a Taurus too, huh? Hot. Shit. I'm tired of looking at y'all.